I started this paper with an observation that there are some people who work inside for-profit companies who really care about social issues. They care about addressing racism, community welfare, the environment. But leadership doesn't always have those same concerns. They're running a for-profit company. And this tension is very high for people who work in CSR, corporate social responsibility occupations. So your chief diversity officers, the people who run corporate grant making or philanthropy, your sustainability officers. And so I wanted to know, how do you stay committed to these social issues when you work inside an economically oriented company? And what I found is that it's actually kind of isolating and challenging to be in these positions. There's this network of peers that exists, and people can create really deep connections with other people doing a similar difficult job at another company, even a competitor firm. But you can have a deep connection with them that actually improves your work at your home organization. They can help you blow off steam and relieve some of that tension that you are experiencing in your day-to-day job, help you brainstorm ideas for how to address those tensions, and keep you motivated, push you further in this complex area of work that not everybody is understanding at the same level as you do. So that data was collected in 2016, but since that time, I've continued to stay in contact with people who work in CSR occupations, and I have a different study on chief diversity officers, and in the context of that, I've continued to talk to people, even as recently as 2 weeks ago, about their experience addressing these issues inside firms. And the pandemic amplified the need to have a place for emotional release. This work of addressing social issues is very fatiguing. So it has amplified the need to have a peer network. And it can be difficult because, you don't necessarily have the same spaces to interact with people as you did before. So things like virtual happy hours, calling people, having those deep connections, doing the work to form them so that you can rely on them in difficult times has become even more important. I think at a general level, the findings from this paper can apply very broadly. So you can think about young people starting their career who maybe don't have those deep connections with others, especially if they're in a role that's difficult or has some tensions involved in it, which many jobs do. So I would advise young folks to invest the time in networking. It might be with people outside your department. It might be with people who have a similar job at a different organization. Do those outreaches, start to build your network, because these are the people you'll rely on when times get tough. But for anybody who's dealing with complex tensions in their job, so that young people certainly need a network to rely on, but so do very advanced leaders. Think of how complicated your job is when you are running a company, and you might not recognize or remember how important your peers are at other companies, even competitors. But they're dealing with very complex tensions like you, and there's a way to tap into that network, without giving away trade secrets, to still relieve steam and motivate you to do your work better.